Today literally just changed my life. We were on the topic of Jezebel for the session of the book of Revelation. Papa said he's going to answer 3 to 4 more questions when he came back for second session, and I was one of the people to raise my hands up very quickly because I was waiting since yesterday to allow us to ask questions. And then Papa finally said, the girl at the back, you can ask your question. And then I was excited because I knew, okay, finally I'm going to get an answer to this. It's been bothering me. And when I asked my question, I was asking Papa, before the conference, I had a dream whereby a spirit entered my room and the spirit was seducing me. And for some reason, I was still in my consciousness, but I was reciprocating that energy towards the spirit. And we were about to have intercourse, but we didn't. It was like moments away. We would have had sex, but we didn't. So what happened was, I woke myself up because I was still in my consciousness. And I told myself, I'm going to go sleep and I'm going to dream about something else. So then as soon as I went back to sleep, the same dream happened again. Just the setting changed a little bit, but it was still my room. It was still a room. And the person changed that was seducing me. The spirit was a white man, and he was laying on my bed, and we were about to have intercourse, but I knew in my consciousness, this is wrong. I was telling myself the whole time in the dream, this is wrong. Why is my body reacting like this? But my mind is saying no. And then I looked in the mirror, because I have a mirror in my room. I looked in the mirror, so in the dream, I looked in the mirror behind me and I saw, why am I a white woman? I'm colored. And that's when I knew something was wrong, and I shook myself awake. That whole day I was feeling so discouraged. I felt sick. I thought, oh my word, I derailed. But luckily on Monday, Papa actually said that don't feel like you're immoral when you have a dream that someone is trying to have sex with you, because it's a projection from the Queen of the Coast. So then I felt a bit better, but I didn't like the fact that it wasn't just the spirit, but I was reciprocating that as well. So I felt like there was something wrong with me. Then yesterday in praise and worship, I went into warfare. I just went back into the realm of imagination like Papa taught us to. And I was warring against that spirit, and I was trying to conquer, I was trying to fight it. And in my mind, I was like, I did it, but I didn't feel ease. And leading up to the conference, after the dream I had, my nose was bleeding, like unusually, for like 30-40 minutes straight, and it's like water coming out of my nose. So bad that my heart was like it was like heart palpitations. And I got a bit scared. So I told my mom about it. And I could see she was a bit worried, but I was like, no, I'm going to be fine. But I wasn't feeling fine myself. Then it happened the second day. Third day, I started bleeding again. Fourth day, bleeding again. And then yesterday, on my way home from service, I was driving on the N1, and the front part of my car, the plastic part, shot back into my windshield and fell and shattered in the road. And I got such a fright. I was so startled. And I phoned my dad immediately. I pulled on the side of the road, and I told my mom. And she said she thinks this is an attack. When she confirmed it was an attack, I was concerned until today. And once I explained it, he stopped me before I could continue, and he said,
what you saw in the realm carries clear message of what the problem is. In as much as you were taken advantage of, it shouldn't have happened. But in that same vision, God gave you a recording of it. You were able to remember exactly what happened.
yes, sir.
So that means in that defeat came the visual outlining of the victory for that defeat. Meaning that for you to articulate and remember the vision, the same spirit that came and seduced you and did whatever it did, and you were able to recall what all happened,
Yes, sir.
is actually the victory. If you understand realms, and if you're able to understand what was that whole thing all about, where your mind was aware that this was wrong, but the body was responding to it.
Yes.
But that wasn't not enough for you because you didn't understand it when you woke up. God gave you a message.
Yes.
You woke up, but you have no understanding of what was said to you
Yes.
in the language of the realms. So you went back to sleep. You shouldn't have gone back to sleep.
I felt so happy when he said that the Lord even had to show the dream the second time. I wasn't supposed to go sleep, but he showed the dream the second time and revealed a bit more so I could see what type of realm I was operating in.
When you came in again, the attack continued. So Satan continued again. God took you to another version of knowledge, wanting you to comprehend what was happening. Suddenly, you found that same spirit come like a white man, but you happen to look at yourself in the mirror. You know that the one you saw in the mirror is not you, but that one took a resemblance of you.
Yes.
When you look, so that mirror was a message from God as well, which was the same thing as my mind knew this is not right, but my body is doing it.
Yes.
And then it reflected in the same second dream. I looked at, I'm not a white God, you're colored, but you looked yourself in the mirror. This is not you. So there is a contrary familiar spirit that is inside you.
Okay.
Yes, that is trying to cause you to do that which is not of God. It's a familiar spirit. It's an attack of a familiar what? Spirit. It is not that you are possessed with that spirit, but you are being attacked by a familiar spirit. And that familiar spirit wants to lure you into sexual sins so that you start to corrupt yourself and make terrible mistakes that will ruin your entire destiny as a young girl. So that's the assignment of that spirit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take up a warfare against a familiar spirit that comes to lure you into sexual sin specifically. Bind that spirit. It's a familiar spirit. It takes your shape, it takes your color, it takes different sizes, it just comes. And if you don't war against, that's actually what that vision means. Get out of the bed, you familiar spirit, because my mind says it's wrong, or something in me that I can't control is causing my body to do it. So it's no longer me. It's a spirit that is now overpowering my willpower. So this is no longer something that you just have to play with. It's a serious case.
Papa explained everything and that gave me so much peace.
Is there anything else that you want to say?
And then I explained to Papa about the nosebleeds and he said, this is very serious, come. So I went to the front, he told me to stand there and I could just feel the moment I stepped in front of that altar, I knew it's time to war.
How young are you?
20, turning 21.
20.
Yes, sir.
There's a familiar spirit. Now, the spirit has been hiding. Can I'll give you 2 ways to be victorious.
Yes, sir.
Number 1, do you want me to cast the spirit out now and close the door forever? Or do you want me to send you to where the spirit is so that you yourself can arrest it, suppress it, and cast it out completely and overcome it yourself? What do you want?
So you have trained us to do this. I want to do it myself.
You want to do it. You want to go. Now stretch your hands, excuse me.
He looked up and I was looking into his eyes and it's like a portal opened in his eyes and it's almost like I traveled into what he was seeing. It was, I don't even know how to explain it.
She's gone. She's gone.
And that moment when I was let go, it's like that image of that spirit that was seducing me just came right in front of me. And I didn't knew I was gonna war. I was gonna slice it up and set it on fire. I remember I was just praying and praying and praying until my tongues just started increasing. It's like Papa's tongues became my tongues and it just erupted out of me.
Anytime it was ascending, it was getting into the realms, then the war began.
And the moment it erupted out of me, I felt like I had a sword in my hand.
It's a family spirit.
And I was slicing that spirit like it had nowhere to go. I sliced it like this. I sliced it halfway, and the second one, because he's not getting away, and then I lit both of them.
Yes.
And I felt so victorious, like I literally, like, it felt like I gained a throne, like I got my throne back, and I just dethroned that familiar spirit. Papa said it was a familiar spirit, and I just knew, like, it's just this knowing you have in you after you war, especially by the altar, that you've overcome this.
Now, anywhere she goes in the world, she can deliver anybody. Yes, she has conquered that spirit. Forever, such spirits will bow wherever she appears. That's what I'm trying to do. Instead of doing it for you, I send you to war. After you defeat that spirit, you will increase in the rank over that spirit. And also her life will never be the same, because she has seen beyond here. She has not seen the realities are beyond these physical realms. If you've never seen beyond here, Christianity will be like a thing from the book. It's like a mere religion. Until you start encountering realms of the spirit. Jesus was constantly in the realms above here. Constantly.
I'm just so grateful and thankful, because this is something I've been battling with. Not the dreams of seduction, but that random thoughts, like thoughts that pop in your head that hey, I wouldn't think something like this. And that's exactly what happened in the dream. And it just manifested, and now it's over. I'm completely free, and I'm so happy, and I hope that I can be an inspiration and even help the other youth out there to fight this demon, because we are God's battle axe, and I'm excited for us to war in the realms together.